We got to get to what you had on your mind, which I'm quite sure is some sort of horrible thing. It's blasphemous or something. I'm sure it's something like that. But I'm braced. So,
Now I'm gonna make you feel real bad.
okay. Well, you're gonna say you're gonna
I
tell me
I
happy birthday or
accept your
something.
apology in
Hmm.
advance.
Okay.
Activision Blizzard just laid off 800 employees,
Yeah, that's bad.
and they're reporting. I mean, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but they're a highly profitable company. They're not a company that's cutting because they're struggling. The reason they're cutting is because they're trying to maximize the back end profits, right? They're basically judging that if we cut 800 people who don't really make that much money, we can give our new CEO a bonus of $15 million. And for people who think that just because you work on a video game, you're rich, you're not. There's
No.
people making 70 grand a year. Just some people making 50 grand a year. There's people working on those games that barely crack 100, and they're one of the few people on the planet Earth that could do their job. And the product that they make made some odd hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're only making this much money. And the CEO that they paid, he just started working there. He didn't even build this. So there's people who literally work day and night, and we know developers, man. Some of these guys and girls, they work 14-hour days for months at a time, especially when the game is about to be released and that crunch time comes and they have to work out the bugs and it's going gold. It's the highest stress, highest demand on performance that you can get, and they let all these people go, 800 people, a significant number. Now, a lot of them are going to be fine because there's a lot of talented folks in there. But I bring the rant part of this is not that corporations are doing corporate things, right?
Right.
Um, I'm not here to tell EA how to make money. I could tell them how to make a Star Wars game, but I ain't gonna tell them how to
Ah,
make money. My beef is really with the fans. Now, as fans, I don't expect people to understand these predicaments, but my thing is just try a little bit, because I'm seeing stuff like this is how nonsensical I'm seeing stuff. I don't like the way the CEO and the shareholders are treating the developers. So I'm going to boycott the developers' work so that what the developers make don't make no money and more developers get fired. But I
yeah.
think in a roundabout way, this hurts the shareholders and CEOs. I got some dark news for y'all. Shareholders and CEOs are the last people to feel the pain.
Yeah.
Anything you do, any action you take, any boycott you feeling, the shareholders and CEOs only feel it after people making much, much, much less money than they are feel it 10 times over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Because
the
they're gonna throw
people,
them out there first.
I want, if y'all play sports games, I want y'all to zoom in on whatever sports game you playing. Doesn't matter which one it is. Zoom in. And when you zoom in, you're going to see the little stitching in the uniforms. You're going to see the threading. Somebody stayed up all night making sure that happened, making sure that it didn't look funny, making sure the lighting hit it right, tweaking it, because when you did it, it looked good up until this point, and then once they put it over here, it looked funny. It looked too shiny. So they went back and fixed it again. That person is the person that you hurt. The person staying up all night so that the details that you need in order to buy the game and forget as soon as something pisses you off, that person is who you're hurting. If a game is good, support a good game. Because when you support a good game, you're supporting a creator. You can't boycott EA because, quite frankly, they're too big to boycott. They're just too big to boycott. Sometimes, as a gamer, you have to accept the L on that. Now, here's the thing, and I say they're too big to boycott for this reason. You could say you boycott an EA, you ain't buying no EA products. But if EA makes good games, they're gonna sell those games. So all you doing is changing the numbers on from when they do good and when they do bad. And what it comes down to is shareholders and people at the top don't know the difference between a good product and a bad product. This is true in
They
almost
know a
every.
profitable product and a non-profitable.
Exactly. So what you guys support with your wallets, more of that will happen. What you guys don't support, less of that will happen. So if you don't like loot boxes, don't put money into it. If you
Yeah.
don't like microtransactions, don't put money into it. But if
Yeah.
they may, if thousands of hardworking developers and administrative and marketing folks come together to put together a beautiful product, and you don't support that product, that may never exist again.
Yeah.
And the shareholders are just going to move on to the next. They're just going to try and make another Fortnite,
Yeah.
another Castle. I don't even know what it's called, Crashers or whatever.
Right.
Candy. I don't play them games that people play in Starbucks. I don't know what that is. It's like consoles and PC. But point being, they're just gonna chase the money.
Yes.
So your vote is when you support what you love. And the reason you love it is because developers loved it. And you have something in common with them. Even though they develop games and you play games and might have a different career, the common ground you have is that game that you love. And support that, and the gaming industry will repair all these other problems. But boycotting something because EA made you mad is nonsensical, because EA is not a person in a suit and tie and an EA logo for a face. It is a complex tapestry of corporate nonsense that, lucky for us, instead of polluting the environment or making conflict diamonds or
Ah!
making pharmaceuticals that actually poison you instead of heal you, they make video games. That's the difference,
Yeah.
right? So as even EA on its worst day is still a bunch of people who love video games making video games. And
Yeah.
a lot of times either they make mistakes or they're forced to make mistakes. And the best thing you can do to keep those mistakes from happening over and over is reward them when they don't make a mistake. But boycotting EA is a fantasy you have in your brain that you, as very likely a person who's nowhere near as rich as the lowest paid person, that has VP next to their name at EA,
Yeah.
you think you can affect their life, and you cannot,
Yeah.
but you
And
can
and
affect the
and,
lives of the developers.
and the thing of it is man, it's really it just shows people don't have things in the proper perspective, because you a lot of times people want to they like, I have not seen the reason yet for boycotting a video game. Like, I haven't seen the issue that is so egregious that boycotting an entire game was what you should do. Like, if I'm going to boycott a video game, it's going to have to be because the CEO said, I will not employ any African Americans. I will not employ any women.
Right.
Just something crazy, right? Something has to be. I'm not boycotting a game because you guys keep
And
putting.
even with that, right? Like, that's just, let's get this guy fired.
Yeah, like
That's the goal.
until, like, yeah, or something. Or if you tell me I'm not firing this guy because my point being is, I think people, and I guess this is kind of sounds crazy coming from somebody who makes their living on video games partially. I think people just take games too serious, man. Like, the whole.
Honestly, we live in anger culture.
Yes,
People want to be angry about something. I think
about
people ain't getting into enough fights, man. Like, I don't know what it is. Like,
yeah,
people need to go outside, throw on some boxing gloves, and get into a fight, and then come back a little more relaxed.
yeah,
Because again, this situation right here that cracks me up is, your problem is the way that they're treating their staff, but you're doing something that's going to make them treat their staff worse.
worse.
That's
Yeah.
that's it.
It doesn't
And
make any sense. Well, I think so
yeah,
often we um protest without proper guidance,
yeah,
you know, because, like, you know, there's been a lot of protests, really high profile protests that we've seen across several different industries, that when I step back and I look at it and go, okay, I have a problem with the same thing you have a problem with, but what you're doing to me doesn't really fix your problem. If anything, it creates another one. And so I think that's a lot of times kind of what ends up happening.
Yeah. And in this case, the solution that you're looking for is to support a good product. And when I say, boy, don't buy something you don't like.
Yeah. If you don't
What
like it, you don't like it. It don't
you
mean
don't
that you
like it.
hate it. Common. Yeah, no, you didn't get that. You didn't get that. Yeah,
Nah,
never
I don't know
mind.
what you're talking about. But
It's a
it must be a
common
Chicago
reference.
thing.
It's a dope. It's a really dope
It
line.
is a Chicago thing.
It's a dope. It's a really dope line because, and it applies to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like something, and I say I don't like it, I'm not hating on it.
Right.
I'm not hating it or hating on the person who does it. I don't like it, so I'm not gonna do it. And that's exactly what you're saying. So I'm not trying to tear EA down. I'm not trying to tear 2K down. But this particular product that they're offering, I don't like it,
Right.
so I'm not buying it. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be any anger involved. It's just me not putting my money someplace that I don't value what's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just all it is, you know. So well, that's all we got for today's At Me Bro show. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed being here. I know Nelson enjoyed it because he got a chance to talk to me. So I mean, what more could you ask for?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We always appreciate you guys' support. Follow both Mazique, myself, and the official At Me Bro on Twitter. Um, and don't forget to send us those questions for Ask Us Bro, which you guys will
Absolutely.
also find on this channel.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do that right now, but not right now for you, but you get what I'm
For
saying.
us,
I
same clothes.
appreciate you guys watching as always. God bless and peace.